And I think just more growth. We're growing strategically now. It sounds all butterflies and rainbows. There was a lot of downs too. I don't want to, it's been a long 10 years, and there's been a lot of battles too in terms of owning a business and dealing with some personnel, dealing with trying to grow in some other areas, things like that. So, but I think now we feel we have a really stable foundation. We can continue growing through personnel, through accounts, through everything.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by Tryf, who's been making some serious moves in the real estate industry for about a decade now. Tryf, welcome in, man. How you doing?
Micah, thanks for having me. Doing great. Doing great on this
Uh,
snowy morning.
I heard that, man. Yeah. You're up there in Ohio, staying cold, and it's cold in Florida today too, so y'all can have that back. But I'm excited to have you, man. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from what I believe is your approach to how you do real estate, your long arc story of it, the mindset behind it. One thing I really appreciated in our pre-call discussion was that the focus that you have and how you've built where you got to today. So let's dive in on that. For people who may not know you yet, what's your main focus right now, and what markets are you operating in?
Yeah, great. So our main focus, my company's called, and I co-founded it with Mike Constantini. It's 3CRE Advisors. And we've got 5, 6 business units underneath that umbrella. We specialize in commercial. We specialize in residential. We have asset management or property management, 3CRE. We've got 3CRE business brokering, and then 3CRE capital markets. And I can get into the synopsis of how all those business units started, but we operate in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. That's where we're licensed. So we're really a Midwest brokerage.
Excellent, man. So let's go ahead and back up into that. Take us through that journey. How'd you get started about 10 years ago? And what was that path to leading to have all those under the 3CRE brand?
Yeah, so I'll go back to 2010 just because that's kind of how I got into the brokerage world. In 2010, I graduated from the University of Cincinnati, bachelor's in marketing, and went into becoming a loan officer. Crazy, right? Used my degree perfectly. But my best friend owned one of my best friends owned the company and wanted me to join as a salesperson. So really, for the next 3-4 years, I developed the banking side of real estate in terms of skills. How loans work, what they look at, the credit scores, the debt to income ratios, all that, which really helped me propel him from a sales standpoint and understand the back end of real estate. And then, 2-3 years later, I was promoted into a management position with them. That allowed me to start managing loan officers and pipelines. So, you could kind of see a synopsis. I learned the financing, and then learning how to manage people. It's
Right.
critical as you want to grow your own company. I've always been entrepreneurial in spirit. So I think that was one thing I always wanted to do. So although I worked for the mortgage bank, I always had an entrepreneurial spirit about me, even in grade school and everything. And my family here owned a few multifamily buildings and sold a 160 plus unit building. And my uncle introduced me to the broker that did that. So I took the meeting and
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
at the same time, I started getting into investments. My father was buying some investment properties. We were doing some flips, condos, things like that. Just got into real estate. Loved it. I thought it was interesting. It was different. Real estate's so flexible. There's so many
Right.
parts to it. So after I met with the broker, I ended up going to a lunch there, and who's now my business partner was at that lunch, and we met in 2014. Um, and Kind of connected. He was an experienced multifamily investor, had done brokering. It was a little bit older than me, so he really just took me under his wing when I joined. I made the decision to join the brokerage, and the first day I got there, the broker actually put us in the same office. So that was funny. Now 12 years later, we still have the same office. In terms of our company and
Meant to
brand.
be,
But
man.
looking back, he was really a mentor to me, and he was specializing more in retail commercial assets, and I came in with the specialty of multifamily. I liked multifamily. I liked apartments. I understood it. Very much easier to underwrite. So ultimately, we kind of synced up, and he mentored me through how to underwrite, how to look at properties, how to talk to the buyers about those properties, et cetera. And ultimately, we created an informal partnership. We were doing deals together, but it wasn't a brand, it wasn't a company, it wasn't anything. So in 2016, we made the decision to leave the broker and create the brand 3CRE Advisors, which is going to be 10 years old this year. Um, and we were able to first specialize in commercial. We had taken our past 2 years, started building that brand up, but it was just us two. No real direction in terms of what we were going to do. We just wanted to create this partnership and company and see where it got us. But over time, we really started to take a market presence in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and started doing transactions, and people started to notice us. We implemented some social media at the time. Instagram,
Mm,
Facebook was kind of newer, so we were a little bit ahead of the curve there. Mike had a lot of the experience. I had a lot of the salesmanship where I could go out and find the clients and do that part of it. And it was just a good yin and yang relationship. Ultimately, we started doing transactions, and in 2018, um, we were representing a national family entertainment center, and met Brett Post, who's another director of ours and partner for the 3CRE business brokering. And he was consulting them on their restaurant and how to bring in a restaurant to help with this family entertainment center, because the entertainment center did not want to manage their own restaurant. So
okay.
they were going to sublease it and bring in a brand and different things like that. So then we got to talking to him, and he's like, I'm a commercial agent, but I do business brokering. And we're like, that's an interesting concept. How does it work? We learned about business brokering. So we buy and sell, help people buy and sell businesses as well. But it typically 95% of the time involves a real estate deal, whether you're doing
Right.
a lease, whether you're doing an acquisition or disposition of an asset, there's value there. So we saw that was nice to be able to offer that service in house, but also we had the real estate skills behind it. So Brett was kind of the third person to join us in the brokerage. Um, and then in 2019, we created 3CRE Property Management, because in 2019 Mike had identified and sold a 100,000 square foot shopping center, which we still manage today.
Wow.
And We had done the disposition on it, and ultimately we're like, why do we keep referring management services out, and not keeping this revenue in? So we created some infrastructure. We had to sign that account first. We weren't going to do it without any revenues coming in, and
Right.
that was a big part of our growth. We always wanted to know we had revenues that could come in before we went out and tried a new venture, because we're very conservative in that fact in terms of our growth. But That client ended up being our first property management client, and he's still our property management client. We still manage a center for him. But what we were able to see with that business unit was, hey, we can keep the relationships. We know how to do leasing. We can tweak the engine. We can make sure the investment's growing. And then when they ultimately decide to sell again, we'll be the brokers to sell it, because who better knows the asset than us?
Right.
So we've now morphed that business unit into about 700,000 square feet of commercial management. We don't do any multifamily currently, but it's all office, industrial, retail, and
Okay.
shopping centers, things like that. So we started that process as well.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Then going back to my roots, I had a client that in 2020 I was selling a multi-million dollar apartment building for, and he came to me and he's like, "Man, I wish you could sell homes. I just love working with your brokerage. We had done numerous deals together, and I just don't get that level of service with some of the other agents on the residential side that I've worked with before." And I looked at his home and it was like 900,000. And I'm like, man, that's like a $25,000 commission that,
Right.
again, we're giving away. It's not that I wanted to do residential, but I had that background from the loan perspective going back to from 2010 to 14. And I spoke to Mike and I said, Mike, why can't we bring agents that help us with residential where we can retain the clients? Because investors own homes and homeowners want to probably buy investments over time. So there was some synergy there.
Right.
And we created 3CRE Residential probably during the worst time in the beginning, because it was COVID and everything shut down for like 5 months. But over time, it became the hottest market in
Yeah.
residential history. Really, I mean, the amount of transactions that were going on were ridiculous, and it was nuts. But we've now grown that team to about 10, 12 agents as well. So we've got 40 agents total between all our business units. So we're very horizontal in terms of the services we offer um, in our brokerage, but we've got specialists that are vertically integrated, that specialize in either different asset types or the business units themselves. And then last year, we had been referring a lot of loans to a broker that I have a great relationship with here. And Mike has a great relationship. We felt really comfortable with him. His name's J.R. Foster. And he's got his own brokerage company. But we're like, hey, can we white label you under our capital or under our 3CRE and create 3CRE capital markets?
Hmm.
Because we saw the opportunity in that sense that we're doing a ton of transactions. And, when we're doing leases too, a lot of these new businesses need SBA financing or, help with their build out or equipment
Yeah.
purchases and things like that. Not everybody has, we do some breweries, 1.5 million sitting in the bank, right? So they need to finance
Right.
that. So we saw an opportunity not only for the acquisition of real estate, but also leasing and things like that. And we've been following the data, and on the commercial side of things, a lot of the loans are coming due in the next year or two. People refinance or purchase during 2020, 2021, and the commercial loans are typically 3, 5, 7 year fix, and there's a balloon due after it. So we also wanted to provide a service to our clients where we can refinance them.
Right.
So we're starting that process as well now. We've got a client that owns a $4 million center right now, 4 to 5 million, that they want to pull some of their cash out to be able to purchase something else. It's fully occupied. So we're helping them do the refi cash out. Now, hopefully we get the purchase with them as well. But the fact that we can even provide that just adds another value add to our clients. So
Right.
our clients really can come into our shop that's morphed over the past 10 years through Mike and I's vision to grow, but strategically grow, add pieces that help our brand, our client experience, and they can come here and have some sort of service that they need help from through 3CRE.
Right, man. And I love what y'all built there. It runs with a concept that I've heard where it's called soft pressing, where the idea is as you get into something, and it exists really throughout your whole career span so far, where it's not that you're trying to shove every door open. You're seeing
Mhm.
what comes along next.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
What doesn't require me to force it? What can I just twist the knob and it just opens naturally? It makes sense for me to do next. And that's what you've managed to do. But beginning in one of my opinions, the best way possible. You started with a career in the industry. You had some background knowledge already from family being in it, but getting to see under the hood of real estate is one of the most important parts of this industry, understanding how it works. Because I always told people there's two games. You have the rules of real estate where the contracts, the processes, those,
Yep.
and then you got people, and
Yep.
those are not played the same way. You have
No.
to, and you can't understand the people part until you understand the rules of the game. It's like football or golf. Like
Yeah.
the rules are good. We like them. They make it where we have a game, but we can't play the game unless we know them, especially
Correct.
really well. And the better you get them, the better you can serve, the better it
Mhm.
starts to come out. And that really started to leak through as you did well in the mortgage, and then you learn the management part, and then you jump to the brokerage part. But again, another thing there, relationships. It's how you got introduced. It was these moments where real estate is relationship driven. Your dad introducing you to the broker, right? Those tight, you wouldn't just take a call or lunch with anybody. It's those people close to the business that keep introducing you to that next thing. And you said it, real estate's a big industry, man. That's one reason I love
It's
about it.
huge, and it's a great point. It's all relationship driven, and keeping up with those relationships, and ultimately you've got to make sure the client wins,
Right,
through their investments, through their purchases, through whatever you're through the management. If they're not winning, then you're going to lose the relationship. At the end of the day, though, in this business, it is all about their returns and money, and that's what
right.
it comes down to, and who can perform. So, we want it to be strategic in terms of the services we provided, but also Mike and I couldn't do that in the beginning just ourselves, right? So you have to bring
Right,
in these pieces and these people and personnel that can help you grow in all those different services that we provide for the different asset types. And you're only as good as your team, right? So making sure that you are
right.
bringing quality people that can add value to the client.
100%, man. Because it's having an expert in the high level seats is what lets you grow. Not
Correct.
making it up, not trying to guess. A lot of folks start things, they think starting is the day they open versus the reality is it's the first time you started reading. That's the
Hmm.
start date. Accept the education part up front that is part of your whole journey, and it will lead to, like you're talking about, the capital markets part. You met somebody who's an expert at it. You were able to build a relationship with them and then bring them under in a white label service. So now you get to offer that. And at the same time, what I really appreciate that you've done, you're doing it in a way where your client keeps trusting you. You're not bringing random people into their worlds. You're bringing experts into their worlds because, like you said, unless you're getting the return, none of it matters. That's where real estate's like any other business. And something
Correct.
especially for entrepreneurs, real estate's interesting that you don't have to want to own a business to be successful in real estate. But however, the folks that own things like yourself, you were always going to own something. You always
Hmm.
had that spirit that you were going to build something. Real estate became your commodity. That's what
Correct.
it was. And that's where business is fun. The fundamentals are across the board. You got to have a great product. If it doesn't actually solve your customer's problem, then you don't got one. Right. And in
Exactly.
our world, it's service. Our world is knowledge. Our world is experience, actually getting them from point A to point B successfully time after time after time. That is the product itself. And that's what y'all have done a great job at. And that's what leads to those integrations, like you're talking about, where you're able to capitalize on, hey, we're referring this revenue out. Can we bring this in right now? And
Mm.
I always say this, right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing, but right thing at the right time, that's life changing. And that was the
Absolutely.
moment after moment y'all were experiencing. So Thanks for sharing that story, man. What's that led y'all to today? What are you excited about this year?
And I think just more growth. We're growing strategically now. It sounds all butterflies and rainbows. There was a lot of downs too. I don't want to, it's been a long 10 years, and there's been a lot of battles too in terms of owning a business and dealing with some personnel, dealing with trying to grow in some other areas, things like that. So, but I think now we feel we have a really stable foundation. We can continue growing through personnel, through accounts, through everything. I think, with the economy the way it is now, um, I was mentioning, and I've mentioned it before, everyone, I think we're finally in a stable kind of economy in terms of buyers and sellers know what market they're in now. And
Right,
transactions are starting to happen. In the past couple years, the challenge has been, yeah, rates are going to come down. They're saying it on the news, or rates keep going up. They're saying, and no one wanted to do anything. Everyone was kind of just frozen in time. And as time
right,
has gone on now, we're starting to see where people are like, well, I want to transact again. I've got to do something. I can't just sit on my hands. I've got cash. I've got this. I've gained equity on this property, so I want to move on to buy something bigger, whatever the case might be. So I think 2026 is going to be a growth year from a transaction standpoint. We really saw that growth into Q3, Q4 of last year. And rates have been coming down, so that's also helping all across the board. But at the same time, I think we're going to be able to grow um, on the business, in terms of personnel and bringing in more quality agents to help us bring in that top line. Like I said, we're located in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. We really want to make a bigger push in Columbus. We have an office there in Columbus. We've got some agents in Columbus, Ohio. Northern Kentucky is its own market. Covington, Newport, Florence, Independence. Some of the areas, and it's just you just drive across the bridge. But then getting into some of those other cities that are really into the Midwest, maybe your Louisville,
mm,
Lexington, and trying to implement a footprint in those markets. But we have to do that strategically. We can't just jump into it,
right,
right? So the
right.
business has to come. We have to be able to see that, and then from there you grow into those sectors.
And that I want to nail a point that you said earlier that I love. Revenue first. That
Mm,
that gets tossed out, right? Like, entrepreneurs, we have great ideas all the time. We can get super excited and start stuff that nobody wants at
mhm.
all, at all. They don't care.
Yeah.
You just think it's cool. Where paying attention to what's somebody actually already going to give me money for? What's already there? What's revenue first so
Mhm.
that it's fueling itself? It's not you having to support it a bunch, especially in the natural flow of your business. Like, each thing that your property management person, they already agreed to have you do it before you started it, right? Like, it
Correct.
was it was that part where, okay, we already know we have the customer, now let's go. And I once you're in this business and understand the parts and how it works, that's how you want to lead yourself. Is, okay, is someone already going to want to pay me for this? And does this line up with something I want to do and bring in under the company?
Correct.
Yes and yes. Okay, next
Yeah.
step. What do we do? What's it look like to start it? Who do we need? What's this actually look like? And step after step, and then boom, now it's coming. And it was fueling itself the whole time. I love that, man. Way to
Yep.
go there. Like,
Thank you. Thank
thumbs
you.
up.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It shows that y'all, one, your professionalism. And that's what I appreciate a lot in real estate. Folks we got a bad rap in the industry as the used car salesman concept for a while, but what erases that is people behaving like you're behaving, actually showing up. That's what I would always tell people. You don't want folks to think that? Don't act like one.
Exactly.
Actually be a professional.
Add the
Study your
value.
craft.
Mhm.
Right. Not just as a slogan either. Like, how do you add value? Went back to it earlier. Know your stuff. That's how
Mhm.
you add value. Your customer doesn't do this every day. They have no idea what you're talking about most of the
Correct.
time. Learn it to a point where you can explain it to a fourth grader. That's value. That's really getting it in a way where, okay, I understand. Because when you can do that, you understand. When you can explain it that simple, you know what you're talking about. And what that does for you, just as a professional, that's confidence. You can walk into rooms and walk into appointments, your closing rates will go up. Your everything starts
Absolutely.
to trend up because the energy you put out, you're a pro at this. And you don't need people to tell you, because you put the work in.
Correct. Correct. And being humble enough that if you don't know something, you just learn it and be a student of the business.
Right.
I think that's a big thing too. So understanding where rates are going, understanding, you've got to, it's an engine, and we talk about that. And, there's an investment engine, but also in terms of just being an utmost professional, you've got to understand all parts of the engine and everything that goes into it, from inspections to understanding buildings to how to underwrite a lease, legality stuff. A big challenge that we had, and it was a small clause in most commercial leases, was force majeure,
Mm,
which was something that no one really paid attention to until a pandemic closed our country, and then tenants are like, well, we're closed, we're not able to open, we don't want to pay rent, it's in our lease. So just understanding different terms and the way the engine works, you've got to constantly be evolving. And again, that gets transferred onto the client. If they feel that you have their utmost interest at hand, then they will continue doing business with you.
100%, man. And real estate is you want to be a lifelong learner. You're always involved in a cycle. It's constantly changing. Things are
Correct.
moving up and down. The moment you become static, now you can't talk about it anymore. Right. There's
That's
parts
right.
of real estate I don't talk about anymore because I'm not involved. I haven't done it
Mm,
for a few years and I wouldn't know the first thing to tell you. I have no idea, man. It changes so fast.
it
I
does.
haven't done it. Right. So applying yourself to the part that you're in, man, it's super important. Well, Tryf, man, I really appreciate your time, your story, your perspective today. Thanks for being on here. For folks that are listening that would love to learn more about what you got going on, possibly follow you around, see what you're doing, what's the best way to find you?
Yeah, Micah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you giving me your platform to even tell the story. We've got a really good social media presence. So we got two Instagrams. 3CRE Advisors is our commercial, and then 3CRE.residential is our
Okay.
residential Instagram page. So you can see some of the homes and things we list on there. Obviously, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn. Tryf Christoforou is my LinkedIn profile. And then our websites where you can get all our information is 3CRE.com for all the commercial services we provide, and 3CREhomes.com for all the residential services we provide.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. If you're listening or watching in, check the show notes. We'll make sure we have all of Tryf's links there for you to follow along with him. Again, man, thanks for being with us. I appreciate you here. I appreciate your story. I think we need more folks out there doing it like you. Professional way, treating people right, helping folks be successful across all your businesses. So again, thank you. For everybody listening, if you got value out of today's episode, please like this episode, share it with somebody else you think would get value out of it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate everybody that's following along here with us. We got more conversations coming up with operators just like Tryf, who are out there building a real business in the real estate industry. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on the next episode. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.